And it was a truly awful, including there's one Sid I really, really hated, and that was the worst Sid. I can't remember the name of it at the moment, but people know
that you cannot remember.
Exactly. I'm trying to remove it from my brain.
Okay.
But it was, and Chris sent it to this radio station called South Pole, I think it was called. And that's when Slaygon got in contact with Chris, because they'd met in some of the bit lives that have been happening, and said, "You idiot! Do you know that I'm doing a radio station? Why didn't you send it to me? I could have played it on Slay Radio." That's where that link started, and I met Slaygon a couple of times, briefly some of the bit lives. The first one was at Gossips, and the second one was at Brighton. But after that, we just started talking more and more, usually by email, and that's how the relationship with Slaygon started as well. All to do.
First you didn't communicate much, you said.
No, not too much. It was after we'd met a third time, I think, a bit live. Then he had started doing live shows in 2003 on Slay Radio, and in 2004 I asked him, "Can me and Ken's do a live show?" And he's, "Yeah, go on then." so we did.
Okay. Yeah, that was a beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Yes.
Indeed, which still lasts apparently. And how about playing something? After talking for more than 10 minutes, I don't realize this. I just see the battle running, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, this might be a request, and guess what? It's one of your songs, for a change.
Oh.
Yeah, and since it's from the early ages, I don't know how early it is. I have to check it. Probably it's from most of your remixes are from the year 2000, anyways.
Yeah.
No, this one is from year 2003. From which you could already guess which one it is, because you made only one remix in 2003 under the handle Boss, of course.
Okay. No, I
you don't remember. Okay, I'm gonna help you. It's Glider Rider Happy Clappy Mix, and it was requested by the MTM as well. So let's play this one, and after that we're gonna come back. It gives us some time. I think you can have a pee break or whatever you prefer.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, here it comes. Krang, not Krang, but this was Boz and Glider Rider Happy Clappy mix. Welcome back on air, Boz.
Yeah, too much reverb on the claps, I think. Also,
So critical.
that was a little bit different for me because I use Fruity Loops for that, or FL Studio as it's known as nowadays.
Oh, it was mentioned by so many people back in time then. I remember.
Yes.
They loved to use it.
Yeah, I found it a little bit confusing. It was Skits that convinced me to try and use it a few times, but I still remember the famous quote that Mackie said about Fruity Loops was, I think using Fruity Loops is like having anal sex with another man. You know how it's done, you just don't want to try it.
Oh my god, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting comparison. Okay. I don't know, after that, should I ask a serious question or a less serious question? Because we have lots of listeners here around.
It's all up to you.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let's start with Boss Bang then.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I don't know if it's appropriate here, but when taking a woman Bakey Fran, I don't know what does that mean. Do any C64 tunes play in your head? If so, which ones?
Thing on a spring, maybe.
Okay.
Or what's it called? Bobby Bouncer or something like that. Bobby Bearing, because he'd be the balls, and Thing on a Spring would be the penis. There you go. So.
Okay. I guess he got his answer, definitely.
Yeah.
Are you ready for a second question of his? Or
Yes.
okay. What was it like playing Burnout Crash in real life? Alta circa 2009? I don't think I understand.
Okay. Yeah. It's yeah. No. Burnout was a brilliant game. They came out with several versions of it. It was basically. It was arcade racing, which means that it wasn't really physically correct, but it was good fun. And basically, the more that you hit stuff, the more that your car fell apart. But we used to play online, multiplayer.
Uh-huh.
So it used to be me and Skits, and Boswank used to play with us sometimes, and there was, I think, Block joined in a few times. And
Nice.
a couple of other people every now and again, Wenchy, stuff like that. And and then I used to go and visit Skits, and he used to visit me, and sometimes we used to play just doubles, on the screen, split
okay.
screen. So I think what Boswank is alluding to is we lost Skits. So I stopped playing Burnout for a long time, and I played it again about a year ago, just to play it, just a single player though, and it brought back a lot of good memories actually, which is good. So
Nice.
but yeah, Burnout, God, that must have been Burnout 3, because then they came out with Burnout Paradise, which was beautiful to look at, but not as fun as Burnout 3.
I see. Okay. Okay. And the third question after that, I won't terrorize you more for a while. Why is it I get a stroke on just thinking about you? He asks.
Well, it's only natural, because he does. Whenever he describes me to anyone else, he says that I'm like Adonis. So, so it's quite natural for him to get a stalk on, and whenever he tells me, "Oh, Bars, I've got a bit of a stalk on," I get the magnifying glass out so I can find it, and we make beautiful love together.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you have limited opportunities to affect yourself now, but at least this one works.
Yeah, indeed, yes.
Oh, yeah, that must feel bad for you. That right now you don't have an impact even on the the sound. What is going on?
Don't. I can't hear anything you're doing. I mean, I can add stuff. It's not quite the same. And
No.
he's farting. Unbelievable. But I don't want to turn this into a boss show. So I'm trying. My fingers are itching to press buttons on my.
Well, never mind. It's dedicated actually for you today. And Lala had a relevant question here.
Oh, hang on. I've got to do. If it's from Lala. La 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 la.
Okay.
Yep.
Greetings, Lala. Lala asked, have you ever had a show without fart noises?
That's a very good question. I think, if I remember correctly, I think there was one show in April 2006 where not one